He gets the power to command the internal and external world. The nature will be in his control. At this stage, the practitioner must be very careful. He should not use these powers, because the final goal is to realize the true nature of his own reality, which is Aham Brahma. We should suppress all the waves in the mind, then the glory of soul, which is beyond, undisturbed by the distractions of mind, will shine in its full glory. The yogi will find himself in the ocean of knowledge, immortal and all. Satyam Jnana Anantam Brahma. Yo Veda Nihito Guhaya Parame Vyoman Brahma Vidapnoti Param. This is the Raja Yoga we have discussed. Now going to Jnana Yoga. The core sum and substance of Advaita Siddhanta, which is the core principle of Jnana Yoga, is Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satya, Jivo Brahma Evanama. The external universe which you see here is reality, is not really reality. It is Mithya, it is appearing to be reality. It is only a manifestation or projection, but it is not true reality. And this Jiva, the individual soul, is no way different from the Brahman or the Supreme Soul. The Jnana Yogi believes the Brahman is the only reality. The world is unreal, and the individual soul is nothing but Brahman. As you can see, their realization through a self-experiential discovery process of Raja Yoga results in Jnana, which is Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, to realize that you are Brahman and all rest is an illusion. Appears to be real but not real. Brahman is described as perfection, Satchidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, one infinite eternal existence. It is eternal, unknowable subject, it's not an object. Yet it can be realized through discrimination and renunciation, Viveka and Vairagya. The Brahman appears as universe. Brahman actually is the only truth. It appears as universe, differently to different individuals, depending on their own internal mental projections. Maya, because of all this happening, because of Maya. Maya is the power that obstructs our understanding of the reality. Once the cover of Maya is removed through discrimination and renunciation between the appearance and the reality, then the true nature of the self, universe and Brahman is known. This is liberation. So once you have the discriminating power, Viveka, and you have no desires, Vairagya, then you will know what is the truth. And that truth is Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi experience. And the Jiva, or individual self, has all the attributes of Brahman. It is divine. It is not the mind nor the senses of the body. The subject who knows the objects, but cannot be an object of some subject. He cannot be known by the mind and senses which perceive the objects. The objects are only perceived. The real self within the man cannot be known because of Maya. Under the influence of Maya, the self is identified with the mind, senses and the body. The method of attaining perfection through Jnana Yoga is based on the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. Shankaracharya expounded Visishtavada or Mayavada. According to this, Brahman manifests itself as a universe and appears as many, though it is only one. This illusion can be overcome by the light of awakened consciousness, Jnana. According to Jnana Yoga, the individual is composed of three bodies: the Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. The Sthula Sharira is a physical body composed of 5 elements. It is sustained by food. The Sukshma Sharira, or subtle body, stays inside the physical body and uses this physical body for its expression. It consists of 14 tattvas: chitta, or the thought waves are created; buddhi, or basic intelligence; ahankara, ego consciousness; manas, mind; the 5 pranas, prana, apana, dhyana, udana, samana; and 5 tanmatras, the 5 senses, things in themselves. The third, karana sharira, all this is comprising Sukshma Sharira. The karana sharira, or causal body, is the innermost body. It consists of seed or avidya. The consciousness may stay there. The real self or Atman stays beyond the 3 bodies. The self possesses these 3 bodies, but it is not one of them. The Atman is confined with the 5 covers or koshas: Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha and Anandamaya kosha. The first kosha, Annamaya kosha, comprises the Sthula Sharira, and the second, third and fourth koshas comprise the Sukshma Sharira. And the fifth kosha, or the bliss, Shita Anandamaya kosha, comprises the Karana Sharira. The self of man exists independently of the Shariras and koshas. The body, mind, intellect, ego, all bodily functions are unreal. Atman is the witness of all this. The witness, experiencer, feeler, thinker, avyaya, purusha, sakshi, kshetrajno, akshara. It is beyond all these manifestations, but due to Maya, all is identified with the self. Though all these tattvas, the panchakoshas, the three shariras, the sukshma sharira containing so many components, all this is not the self, but it is identified with the self because of the energy of the self and because of illusion, Maya. Removal of Maya and realization of the self as Brahman, as changeless, ultimate, eternal, aloof from motion activity, is the object of Jnana Yoga. Shankaracharya and his Vivek Chudamani proposed fourfold practice in the path of Jnana Yoga, that is called sadhana chatushtaya. First is Viveka. One should gain the knowledge of discrimination between real and unreal. Nitya Nistya, Vastu Viveka. And second is Vairagya. Iha Mushpa Phalbhoga Virakti. A renunciation implies strong dispassion and non-attachment. From Vairagya arises true knowledge. And with the attainment of that knowledge comes natural withdrawal from sensual pleasures and the practice of shama, calmness or peace. Dhamma, self-kshamadama vishatka sampatti, self-control, uparati, mental restraint, and pratiksha, deep mental calmness in adverse circumstances. Shraddha, teacher, samadhana, the remaining two are shraddha, and finally samadhana. Shraddha is dedication to teacher. And finally, the fourth out of the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is mokshatvam, or intense yearning for liberation or freedom. In Jnana Yoga, one has to purify the consciousness by Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana methods. The practice of one is superior to others. One attains the state of Nididhyasana, he reaches Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest goal of man, according to Jnana Yoga, cannot be expressed in human language. Now we go to Bhakti Yoga. There is a perfection within, and this is best expressed through thoughts, feelings and willings. The self which is perfect, which is inside, these expressions are nothing but forces of innermost core divinity. The divine expression cannot be imperfect, but all emotions are not recognized as perfect or positive, leading to punishable heights. The expressions or emotions are classified as positive and negative. The positive expression of that divine force is called love. So, while the negative emotions are anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, etc. The perfect divine force within is contaminated by the feeling of ego consciousness become negative forces. When the pure consciousness of the self is contaminated with ego, and then the negative forces start acting, this psychological fact is well recognized in Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga teaches to recognize the natural power of love as a manifestation of divine within man, trains the bhakta to purify that love to reach the perfect. So you purify your love to reach the perfect. In Bhakti Yoga, every primary emotion is analyzed, logically concluded and utilized to open a potential perfection in man. And once the bhakta is flooded with this positive potential perfection, he sees this perfect divine power or energy everywhere, nothing but in different dimensions and manifestations. So he sees everywhere Narayana. The word bhakti comes from the root bhaja, means to love, to adore and to be devoted. In Bhakti Yoga, bhakta is taught to accept the personal ideal and to love that ideal until it absorbs his whole being. That ideal is known as Ishta or Ishta Devata. The personal conception of ideal is called personal deity or Ishta Devata. Hence a bhakta's God, it can be anyone, Shiva, Vishnu, Narayana, Shakti, Ganapati, Kartikeya, Surya, whatever. Bhakta's God, although a personal deity or conception, is not an anthropomorphic conception of God. His conception of God is more private and personal image of the ideal. So some people like Balakrishna, some people like Radha Krishna, some people like Rama. So depending on their own choice, they can choose their Ishta Devata. His own interpretation of the ultimate Brahman, because each Devata has a window to the Supreme Brahman or the universal reality. Therefore the Ishtam may be many, differ from person to person in Bhakti Yoga. So we should not think that my Ishta Devata is only correct for others or wrong. That's where the mistake comes. That's where the religious conflicts come. In Bhakti Yoga, Guru plays an important role in selecting Ishta Devata. The Guru, after studying the temperament and tendencies, discover the Ishtadevata for the disciple and gives him a mantra, or a name by which he is to be addressed as Ishta. The mantra is to be repeated with faith and love. First, the mantra is to be understood properly. In other words, bhakta is to made understand the meaning, pronunciation and relation to the mantra with which Ishtadevata. After a long devoted practice, knowledge of Shabda, Artha, Jnana of the mantra is realized and the mind is filled with it. And then the bhakta and the mantra become one. This is called Ishtadevata Sakshatkara. One pointed devotion to the Ishtadevata is absolutely necessary for a bhakta. This is called Ishtanishta. In bhakti sadhana, bhava or relationship with Ishtadevata is important. Bhava is the attitude of bhakta towards Ishtadevata in the form of consistent relationship. Bhava is strictly personal and confidential. Bhavas are innumerable, but they have been classified under the following categories. Shanta bhava, admiration relationship. Dasya bhava, servitude relationship. Tata bhava, father-child to parent relationship. Sakhya bhava, friend relationship. Vatsalya bhava, parent-child relationship. Madhura bhava, attitude to the lover, to the beloved. Any one of the above bhava sadhana will lead to the goal. Sadhana is a systematic practice one follows in order to develop the bhava. The foremost thing to overcome in this bhava sadhana is ego. It comes through self-purification. Purification of love is necessary. In bhakti, there cannot be love unless there is surrender of the self-ego consciousness. In bhakti yoga, there are three stages through which sadhaka or practitioner must pass before attaining the realization of bhava. They are Vaidhi Bhakti. The word Vaidhi in Sanskrit means law, injunction and formality. Vidhi. This is the concept of practices like Yama, Niyama, Nishtha, Upasana, Dainata, Seva, Atmasamarpana. So these are different stages of surrender, and Ranganoga Bhakti is love following attachment. At this stage, love is expressed in the form of demands. Prema Bhakti is love is purified, it becomes perfect, in tune with the perfect inside. The Bhakta realizing that there is not I but thou. Prabhuji, Mai Chandan, Tu Pali. That is identifying with the Ishta completely. This is called Bhava Samadhi. The goal of Bhakti Yoga, the ego consciousness is transcended. There is no state of self but only thou, you. The divine Ishta alone shines forth in Bhakta. This is called union or perfect personality, which is the goal of Bhakti Yoga. So liberated Bhakta after death goes to Vaikuntham. It means a state without any defect or imperfection. All devotional desires are fulfilled there. The Bhakta never separated from his Ishtadevata. He continues to worship his God as an object of devotion. According to Bhagavad Purana, there are 4 relationships of Bhakta in Vaikuntham. Sarupya, Sayujya, Salokya and Samipya. Sayujya is merger. Sarupya is similarity. Salokya is living in the same plane or sphere. And Samipya is being close to the divine. If you examine carefully, all the religions teach Bhakti Yoga only in different forms, different versions of different Ishtadevatas. And in Hinduism, there is a democracy of universalization of accepting any Ishtadevata. Whereas in other religions, outside Hinduism, they insist on particular Ishtadevata and they say all other Ishtadevatas are false, are wrong and should be banned. That is where the problem starts. So once you realize that the Ishtadevata for me is my Ishtadevata, Ishtadevata for you, your own, and for somebody else. So they are all having equal bhakti to their own Ishtadevata. Then that is universality and democratic spirituality. So the Bhakti Yoga is very natural to reach perfection. By one-pointed devotion to the Ishtadevata, the aspirant may realize the highest goal. Now we go to the Karma Yoga, which is the last for today's discussion. What is Karma Yoga? Karma means action or deed in Sanskrit. Any physical or mental action is karma, and we all know that we all cannot live without performing karma. So we are composite beings. We have our intellectual dimension for which Jnana Yoga is required. We have the emotional dimension or the experiential dimension for which Raja Yoga is required. And we have the devotional or subtle love dimension for which Bhakti Yoga is required. And we also have the practical activity dimension, which is karma. Karma is the sum total of our acts, all our acts, both in the present life and the preceding lives. The word karma comes from Sanskrit word kru, which means action. Basically, karma or actions are of 3 types. Kaika, Vachika and Manasika. We perform actions, karma, in either physically or mentally or orally. Karma means not only action but also the result of an action. There is a hidden power in karma or action termed adrishta, which brings in fruits of karmas for the individual. The previous karmas bring out the fruits in the present, and present will bring out the future. The consequence of an action is really not a separate thing. It is a part of the action, cannot be divided from it. So all actions which we do either mentally or physically are known as our karma. Karma is the foundation of our life and keeps our life moving. Our life is bounded by karma because through karma we reveal ourselves, our thinking and subsequent physical actions. Every action which we do has an object behind it, and this object may be good or bad. So it is necessary to carry out positive and good actions only. Karma Yoga is the method which helps us in selecting our actions by setting higher objects. All our actions should be based on love, forgiveness, feeling of caring for others. People who do not plan their actions in the right direction are never satisfied and consequently lead to a stressed, lonely and disturbed life. So these principles of love and caring for others are fundamental essential requirements in Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga suggests that we should do our duties and give up the fruit to the God, the supreme authority, because our job is only to do duty. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha. Ma karma bhandhu. So don't have nates sangos akarmani. Don't have attachment to the result. Karma Yoga is a method of improving our conduct and viewpoint towards philosophy of life. Life is full of struggles and Karma Yoga enables us to face the struggles of life calmly. When we are calm, we have wisdom. When we have wisdom, we can judge things in a better way. Each of us is a separate entity and builds his own world. And this world built by a person is his karma kshetra, action field. We ourselves are responsible for all our happiness and sorrows, successes and failures, pain and pleasures, because all of these are effects of our own karma. So according to Karma Yoga, karma once done cannot be reverted or destroyed until it produces effect. So it's very, very critical that you do only the right karma and face the consequences of it. It cannot be escaped, good or bad. Every action causes an effect, and it is impossible to stop the effects of the fruit of the action already done. Karma and destiny generally are taken as two different things, but in fact they are interlinked. Prarabdha and purushartha, fate or karma and effort, both are linked, because whatever you have done, you have faced the result of it later. So not immediately. So what you face later is called prarabdha or fate, and what you are doing right now is called purushartha or effort. It is necessary for us to know that what destiny is. Destiny means state of circumstances and surroundings in which we are born, and the effect is on our actions, past actions. So it is not destiny which decides different states of our life, but it is our actions. We ourselves who decide it. So what we have done in the past is acting as destiny today. If we get misfortune from our own actions. So Swami Shivananda, philosophy of Karma Yoga, Bhagavad Gita says, Karma Yoga is selfless devotion of all inner as well as outer activities as a sacrifice to the Lord of all works offered to the eternal as master of the soul energies and austerities. This has been told in the Bhakti Yoga chapter also in Bhagavad Gita. And Swami Shivananda advocates certain principles regarding Karma Yoga. The right attitude, it's not what you do that counts, it's the attitude while doing that. And right motive, what is your objective? And duty, do your duty and do your best. I do my duty, I do it the best. And give up the obsession about what will happen after that, the results will come or not, that kind of obsession. So a lot of people get confused and ask questions on what is exactly Karma Yoga, how we cannot be concerned about the results. The idea is, if you are obsessed with the results, you will not be able to perform your duty correctly. You do your duty perfectly and results will automatically come. You don't have to worry about it. And also another attitude is to follow the discipline of the work on hand and also serve God in all. Manava Seva, Madhava Seva. You see God in all and serve everyone. And the kinds of karma, different types are there. Sanchita, Kriyamana, Agami, Sanchita, Prarabdha. So those which are yet to come, and those who have already started giving their effects, that is called Prarabdha. Sanchita is yet to come, is deposited. And Agami is going to come in future, the results. The law of karma, the doctrine of karma forms an integral part of Vedanta. The law of karma is one of the fundamental doctrines not only in Hinduism but also in Buddhism and Jainism. As a man sows, so he shall reap. This is the law of karma. It expounds the riddle of the life and riddle of the universe. It brings solace, satisfaction and comfort to one and all. It is a self-evident truth. The close study of this law gives encouragement to the hopeless man, to the desperate and ailing. Destiny is created by man's thoughts, habits and character. This is every chance for his correction and improvement by changing his thoughts and habits. So basically what you do brings results which you suffer or enjoy. So if you change your actions, your results also will change accordingly. The doctrine of karma can only explain the mysterious problem of good and evil in this world. The only doctrine of karma can explain the mysterious phenomena of good and evil in this world. It can bring solace, contentment and peace, strength to the afflicted and desperate. It solves our difficulties and problems of life. It gives encouragement to the hopeless and to the forlorn. It directs a man to right thinking, right speech and right direction, right action. It brings a brilliant future for a man who lives according to his universal law. If all people understand this law correctly and discharge their duties correctly and carefully, they will rise to sublime heights in the ladder of spirituality. So the benefits of Karma Yoga: by doing selfless service, we can purify our heart. Now what is selfless service? How can you say your job is selfless service or your business is selfless service? Because it depends on your attitude. Suppose there is a teacher. A teacher is teaching, is doing service to society. If the teacher feels that I have to serve the society and develop my students as a service, that attitude will become Karma Yoga without obsession to its results. Whereas if a teacher takes an attitude of I'll teach only if I get money, more money and more, then it is wrongdoing. And similarly, a medical doctor, it was service-oriented approach. Any business also, any business also, if it is looked at as service, Pragati Resorts activities, service to the society, rather than just looking at a profit-making business. You can make profit by doing many other things which are not service. But when you do something which is a service to society, then you are indulging in Karma Yoga. So selfless service, we can purify our heart. Egoism, hatred, jealousy, ideas of superiority, and all the negative qualities will vanish. We can develop humility, pure love, sympathy. Pure love is something very rare. Sympathy, tolerance and mercy. We shall also get broad and liberal outlook in life, and we shall begin to feel oneness and unity. And that is automatically love, universal love. Knowledge of the self can be obtained. We will realize one in all and all in one. Sarvabhutastham atmanam, sarvabhutani chatmani. Knowledge of the self can be attained. We will realize one in all and all in one. We shall be moral and virtuous and be happy, peaceful and contented. We can bear the burden of samsara with patience, endurance and strength of mind. There will not be any room for complaints when we see the inequalities in birth, fortune, intelligence. As you know, we can see a lot of inequalities. Some people are born rich, some people are born poor, some people are born healthy, some people are born unhealthy. All this is based on the past karma. So if you do good karma now, at least now you will get next, you will get good results. Negative qualities like greed, jealousy, hatred, anger, passion will vanish if you have this attitude of egolessness, and virtue will reign everywhere. We will have a glorious Satya Yuga now with peace and plenty everywhere. So this is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. Blessed is the man who understands and lives the law, for he will soon attain God consciousness and become one with the lawgiver, that is the Supreme Being, and the law will no longer operate on him. In the practice of Nishkama Karma Yoga, there is no loss of effort, there is no harm, there is no transgression. Even a little of this practice can protect. Salpamapyasya dharmasya prayate mahato bhaya. Protect you from great fear of rebirth, death and the concomitant evils. We will reap the fruits of Karma Yoga, namely Jnana. Sarvam karma akhilam partha, Jnane parisamapyate. And there is no uncertainty here. The path of Karma Yoga eventually leads to the attainment of bliss of the self. This is the path of selfless action and service without thought of fruits of actions. Thank you.